Going from the dojo, it's Magoo. Oh, I get so tired of making fun of my own people and messing with my own team, but it's hard being liberal-ish at all in this world anymore because the dumb just abounds on both sides. Today I wake up to the resounding, snarky attacks because Jeff Bezos, his blue, what is it? Blue Onion? No, Blue Onion's a restaurant over here. I forgot what it was called. Blue Dream, some shit. Blue Galaxy. God, I just drew a blank. I don't know. I drew a blank. But his rocket exploded on its way to do whatever it was supposed to, and people are like, ha ha! Fucking millionaire, billionaire rocket blowing up. You suck. Ha ha! And I'm like, it's Amazon. You invested in it. Blue Origin. Your money is going into it. He's losing your money. This is the beauty of liberals. We're going to invest in great companies so we can have a good retirement because we're good Americans and that's the system and that's what we do. And it's like, but we hope everything fails. I'm going to invest so much money in SpaceX, boy, but I want all those rockets to blow up on the tarmac. No, you don't. You don't want the rockets to blow up. You're invested in them. Your retirement is tied to it. Our government is tied to it. The sanctity and safety and strength of our country is tied to it. But you're like, ha ha, it blew up, fucking billionaire. I'm like, I agree. Ha ha, it blew up, fucking billionaire. The problem is, the billionaires are the only ones creating or doing anything in this country anymore. The two parties cock-blocked every type of decent development from oil to space to crypto to Bitcoin, and the two parties go back and forth. That one regulates, one deregulates. One puts something in, the other wipes it out. Open the border, close the border. It's just pure two-party idiocy with no common sense. Schumer doesn't want to know what Cruz has to say. Cruz has nothing to do with policy. None of these people have anything to do with each other anymore. They can't stand each other, and nothing gets done. So Trump, all he did was be a rich guy who could see that the Republican Party was shot. Very easy to take over. The Democrat Party was shot. No real opposition there. So he walked in with first time he walked in with an armload of crazies who are just psycho lawyers who went nuts. Second time he came in with an armload of billionaires who have things to do and agendas that have not been able to be done because mostly the two-party ineptitude or the cock-blocking of every possible progress or development while China's booming and Malaysia's booming and everywhere else, and 12-year-olds are making money on Bitcoin, and I'm in New York City, the banking center of the world, and I can't buy Bitcoin in 2018. Just nutso cuckoo blocking of our own progress. Just really getting in our own way. And then the two parties fight each other so badly that they just make it worse and worse and worse. Then people go, that's a swamp. It's like, it's always been a swamp, folks. These Congress people go there with a straw to drink out of the swamp. That's why they want to get elected. That's why they put up with the onerous hassle of taking that job. And that's why they never leave that job. No matter how much they tell you it's horrible and how hard it is and how much it's killing their life and their practice. And meanwhile, they're insider trading and they're writing books and they're glad-handing all over the place and they're making all kinds of connections that will last for the rest of their life. They're never going to be poor again. It's not even remotely what it's supposed to be of a few years of service where you go to be a volunteer and work for cheap labor at Congress to further the laws and regulations and legislation for this country to make us great. That's not what happens. The two-party system is a broken, disgusting blocker of democracy. It doesn't enhance democracy. It doesn't define democracy. It doesn't reflect democracy. It isn't providing democratic solutions. It's a broken two-party system that the Founding Fathers warned about, that a two-party system would ultimately be party versus party over country. And that's exactly what we have now in outrageous amounts. So far broken that Trump isn't one of them. MAGA versus liberal, that doesn't even exist. MAGAs and liberals are the same poor lower class middle people who used to be the manufacturing working class. That all was shipped out to Mexico and Malaysia and Canada and Taiwan and Haiti and Bangladesh and lots of other countries, El Salvador and Nicaragua. I can just go down and down the line. In Indonesia, Jakarta, all these places that manufacturing took off, China, all through Asia, and we got fucked. We did it. NAFTA. Hear that sucking sound? Ooh, that's jobs going to Mexico and Canada. That was Ross Perot. I voted for him 7 times. I still vote for him. He's the last one who told the truth. He wasn't in the parties. He was an independent. Bernie told the truth. They tagged him with this socialist thing, and he wore it. He shouldn't have worn it. He should have worn it as a progressive, left central, common sense person who realizes that trickle down has fucked our country so hard in wealth disparity for 50 years that it has to somehow get flipped out or back. And no other politician will talk about it. Bernie's the only one. So of course the two parties together beat the shit out of him. The Republicans preferred Hillary to him because Hillary had no movement. Hillary had no momentum. Hillary wasn't getting her own money, $19 a pop from every schmuck like me and you. No, Hillary was the entrenched dipshit with her own money. So she usurped the DNC and took it over. No different than Trump. No different by process than Trump. He usurped the Republican Party with money and power. She usurped the Democrat Party with money and power. He won. She lost. When do you change that attitude and stop saying he's a this and he's a that and get him out of your head? Get in your head the fact that your team lost. They screwed up. There's nothing you can do for the other team. They're out. They're doing fine. They're celebrating. They're on the boat. They're playing golf. They're wearing the shirts that say champion. And you're not. So why is Chris Cillizza on TV every day telling me about polls and how bad Trump did in the poll? And it's not. And Trump's at 37%. It's the worst ever. But they don't tell you that the Dems, the whole party, the whole entity is 36%. As an opposition party should be in the 50s, maybe 60s, if the other guy's 37, because if he sucks, then 63 or whatever of the other percent should be favorable, right? Not the Dems. Broken. Not favorable. Even if Trump sucks hard, the Dems are still doing worse. And you know who won't admit it? Not one fucking Democrat. Not one of my friends, not one liberal, not one of them will admit that Biden fucked up here or there, or that Newsom fucked up here or there. All they can understand is that Trump, bad, orange man infection in my head. They give names to these things, and I used to say, oh God, Trump derangement syndrome, it's so fucking stupid. But now there is. Woke. What kind of thing is woke? It's so stupid. Now there is. Any tag they put on us, we own, we wear it because we're morons. What are we doing? Why are you getting outsmarted by Trump? Because he tells the truth and you say it's a lie. You're the one lying. He's right. NATO sucks. He's right. China and all them should be protecting their own oil. We don't need the oil. It's their oil. Why are we there? Because we don't want Iran to get nukes. Why don't we want to get Iran to get nukes? Because there was a time in history where everybody, just like now, banded together and said, North Korea can't get nukes. And everybody said, who's going to be responsible for fighting it? And we said, no, we're not getting involved there. And North Korea got nukes, and now the whole freaking world is less good for it. So the notion now is let's not do the same with Iran and let them have nukes like we did North Korea. But this time all the other countries are saying, that's kind of a good idea. We kind of hear you, but we can't get involved because of political reasons. So you handle it. We'll cover the rest. That's what's happening. No one's condemning us over Iran. Have you noticed? No countries have backed out of any major agreements or treaties. They're freaking out over oil. They want us to win. They don't want to deal with mullahs for their oil anymore. They want an open, decent. They get better treatment from Russia. China and Russia would rather buy from each other than buy from the Middle East, but they have no choice. They need the oil, and they don't always buy it from Iran. They're getting it from Oman or the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia. It still flows through the same place. It's their problem. Our problem is the nukes because we have so much Western money invested in Israel and in the Middle East that we just don't want Israel blown up. And America is built on a lot of Jew money. It's just the way it is. We're also built on a lot of mafia money, a lot of Russian mob money, a lot of cartel money, a lot of dirty political money. So all these people are like, oh my God, the crime. People down here, people are like, oh, it was built on cartel money. I'm like, the whole place was built on cartel money. We're on the border. What do you think this is? What do you think built McAllen and Brownsville? Military crap and cartels. And then, of course, the politicians came in, created a militarized society where we have the Border Patrol down here, ICE, the FBI, the CIA, every possible agency down here, every acronym. It's increased the economy here. It makes a total police presence, and crime goes way, way down, and we're doing great. So it's not that it can't be done. And then they credit, everybody. Then the politicians take the credit. But all it was us paying tax money and hiring cops. That's all it is. You pay tax money, hire cops, have decent laws, enforce the laws, have court system that actually works, no tweaking, no bullshit, no ambulance chasing dipshits, and things work. But we're so past all of that. Every one of our best systems has been maligned and molested and cheated now and found a way around. And just entering an era of AI, it's the worst possible thing. Because when all the guards down, that's when we're going to create this thing that gets around the guard. Like, come on, we are really asking for trouble. And it's mostly our own mentalities. Again, why are you investing money in a company with a CEO you want to see fail? If they fail, you lose your money. So where's your heart? Where's your brain? Where's your control in this? What do you know? What are you doing? If you want to invest in it, listen, forget politics. If you're a nerd and you're a liberal, but you like space, you've always liked NASA and you've always liked space, you should love Elon. There's nothing about him that you shouldn't. There's no, he's a billionaire or he's a Trump and he this and Doge. No, he has done more to resurrect space than anyone in the world. He saved NASA. He has created. Now, the other side of that is that he's polluting space with satellites that will basically provide all of internet and all kinds of power and all kinds of stuff to the earth as we destroy it. Maybe he's a visionary genius. Maybe he's crazy. Maybe you don't have to love everything somebody does. Maybe you don't have to love or like them because they have this amount of money or because they spoke this or that. Actually, a lot of what he did with Doge, though it was the wrong way to do it, was the right thing to do because we have completely unbridled, unedited spending. I was an auditor. It was my job to go in and protect against the auditors coming in and saying, hey, you do these things wrong and you can't spend this way and you're not supposed to do this. Government, no one's doing that. No one's getting tagged for insider trading. No one's getting tagged for any kind of malfeasance unless it's very obvious that they steal money from the campaign fund to use for personal shit in their life outside. Now, I don't mean for plane rides and food. No, I mean, like, if you take the family to Disney with your campaign money, that's a problem. But that's it. That's how far you have to go. If you buy crack with it without anyone knowing, you're probably not getting in trouble. But if you take your family to Disney, that's unethical. We get that. You see how retarded the whole thing has become? How silly it is? Do you see the people who are in Congress? They go there and you go, I would never vote for this guy. He's a complete idiot. And then the next thing you know, when he gets there, he's the head of a bunch of committees. And you're going like, I wouldn't vote for this guy for dog catcher, but now he's head of the committees. Why? Because we abdicated our responsibility to these two parties, and they make the choices, they make the rules, they change the rules as necessary, they tweak the rules when they want to, they put people in position of power who only agree with that set of rules and will shit down or cockblock any other attempts at changing rules. We lock it down to their thing. Again, I say this every video. If I want to run as an independent, 5,000 signatures. If I want to run as a Democrat, 1,500 signatures. Republican, 1,500 signatures. Who made the rule? They did. Why? Because it keeps out independence. Simple as that. So are you independent when you invest your money in Jeff Bezos' company and then cheer when the thing blows up? Or are you better off investing in something you care about, and that way when it succeeds, you're happy, and when it fails, you're unhappy? That way you're on the team and you're investing in what you believe in. Otherwise, you're just a greedy fuck and you deserve to lose your money. But personally, I want to see rockets succeed. I don't want them to blow up. It's fun to blow up. And also, it's not really a failure when a space program rocket blows up early in a space program's development. That's what they do. And I don't want to get dark, but I know all you people who just woke up yesterday don't realize that my whole generation watched the Challenger with people in it, including my friend Bill Duffy's aunt, who was Krista McAuliffe, got blowed up. Down here in McAllen, I was driving recently. When I go to roller hockey, I pass Krista McAuliffe Elementary School, and the team's called the Challengers. And I have a picture of the Challenger up there. I sent a picture to Bill, and he was like, sweet, But nobody was cheering because it blew up because some billionaire owned it. This is the whole thing. But now NASA doesn't own anything. The billionaires own NASA. They resurrected NASA. There's no real NASA without all these outside entities, without Blue Origin pushing, and without SpaceX pushing and putting all the money in and hiring up all the engineers who would be working at Starbucks now. Not Starbase, Starbucks. So instead, this is what we get. And if a rocket blows up, great. But cheering at it is just, you're cheering at losing your own money. And that just blows my mind. But this is what we are now. People see things that are against their own interest and go, yay, yay, yay. People see things that are for them and go, no, no, it's bad because it's the orange guy, whatever, But you don't know which is which because you're not looking at the actual facts of the matter. You're just taking some spoon-fed shit that either the news is giving you and then I come in, I try and talk common sense, and people tune me right out because they're just like, no, I only get one side or the other. I can't carry both sides of the conversation at once. I can't understand it. Maybe I'm just a magical Gemini who can work out both sides of a story, but I don't think so. I think it's just people are lazy, bored, unchallenged, and worried so much about money and survival that they've been duped by these parties, these two parties. That's all they do. That's their job. That's their thing, is to stay in power and dupe everyone. Their job is not to legislate or fix the government or make the country great anymore. That's not it's not even their mission. Their mission is to retain power, gain power, retain power, and then move it in some direction that is supposedly a platform of theirs. But what's the platform of the Dems? Do you know? What's the platform of the Repubs? Do you know? I don't know the platform of either of these two anymore. We're just going to get Trumps because you're going to need enough money to con these morons. That's how you get elected. You con the two parties into them believing that you can win, and then the money flows your way. And if they believe you can win, it almost doesn't matter what you have to say. They worry about it after. Then they realize, oh shit, Bernie's too powerful. Oh shit, Trump's too powerful. They're going to win. Again, the two parties were inept. Dumb. I'm not a brilliant guy to figure this out, but really you could be a fourth grade soccer coach and figure out how fucked up the Dems and Republicans are. It really isn't that hard. What's hard to figure out is what happened to my fellow Americans. The division, how easily you're divided. Go watch Tallarico today with an open mind. All he really talks about is how did we get so divided and conquered by these two parties when really we are all in the same boat with the same problems and mostly similar type people. Yet they have us believing that every neighbor is our enemy. It's not real. It's lazy on our part to accept that from dumber people than us, whether we elected them or not. Okay, you got fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We've been fooled 1,000 times. Shame, fucking shame. And we keep going. So cheer at the rockets exploding because Bezos had a bad morning. But Bezos is having his ham and egg, or he's a vegan something. He's having his tofu egg white omelet and not getting too upset about it because it's part of the project to blow up a few rockets. That's part of the expense. It's in the budget. But you don't know, but is losing money on investments in your budget? Do you have a contingency plan for that when rockets blow up in your life? No, he does. You don't. So why are you cheering for rockets to blow up? Your money's invested in it. If you're in Amazon, if you're in any of the ancillary companies that feed money into Amazon, if you're in any kind of, regular equity, you're touching that. So, if you're going to root for it to fail, I wish I'd know because I'll get my money out now before you fuck that up. But peace out, everybody. Keep doing the same thing, hoping for the same results. I think they call that insanity. But I love you. No one told you today they do. I do.